The War of Art, Turning Pro, Do the Work, The Artist's Journey, and Nobody Wants to Read Your SH*T by Steven Pressfield. I'm grouping all these books together because they basically say the same message packaged in different ways. And that central idea basically comes from The War of Art. And I think that's the central book in this that really sums everything up. And that idea is, as part of being human, we have a capacity for greatness and making great creative things. And there is an enemy called capital R resistance that wants to stop us from that. And we exist to overcome that capital R resistance. So it's our duty to overcome that resistance and make the great creative work that's inside of us. Steven Pressfield, I think, is a fascinating guy. He tried really hard to be a writer in the 20s and it just fell apart. He got divorced, he had no money, and he was just scrounging in this mindset of being a failed writer, and just nothing was working out for him. And then when he was in his young 30s, he tells the story of how he wrote for the first time and he felt this weight lifted off him, and he realized that I'm going to pursue this to the ends of the earth and I don't care what else happens.
To the ends of the earth.
And that was just the beginning of his journey to find his voice as a writer. And it went on for years and years before he had any success. He was getting these writing jobs and he would come out with a screenplay and then the movie would bomb. And it wasn't until he was 51 that he came out with The Legend of Bagger Vance that he actually started having momentum. And then he came up with a few other novels, historical novels of ancient Greece, and then he was off and running, and then he was a writer. But it's through decades of fighting against his idea of resistance, and he finally got where he wanted to be. So it's a great life story, and I think you gain the most wisdom when you go through struggles, and that's what Steven Pressfield did. Like, he really put in the time. It's an impressive life to examine. I would recommend any of them if any of what I've said so far has sounded intriguing, especially The War of Art, because that has everything in it, and I think every other book quotes The War of Art. My one complaint with Steven Pressfield is these books, besides one of them, they have the smallest chapters. He's basically giving names to all the page numbers. So they're really short books, but they have like over 100 chapters. It's really annoying. Other than that, great source of motivation, great life story. Loved reading all of them, and I will probably be reading them again. 4.5 stars. If you have any recommendations, leave them in the comments below.